So let's just start with a very simple vibe check here on a Sherwood Ford Giant Game Day edition of the show. How are you feeling heading into tonight?
I'm feeling good. I think the Oilers are being incredibly underestimated for what their abilities are. I think they're
Finally,
no
I
kidding.
think this is a good thing.
I think obviously Dallas is a great team and does deserve to be the favorite, but everyone just seems to think the Oilers are going to get wiped in a series, and I quite frankly don't understand it.
Dallas, and I know there's all those like 5-on-5 numbers and everything that's going out right now showing Oilers number one. But like Dallas is a well-constructed roster.
Totally.
And, the emergence of Wyatt Johnston and Stankoven, like Stankoven's our Holloway, right? Like we're now getting like Holloway took a little bit into the playoffs, kind of really, I guess obviously he scored in game, was that 3 there? He scored 2, but he's now becoming our Stankoven. But you gotta look at that roster and be like, no, that's a legit roster. And this is going to be a worthy adversary. They're also the Double Dragon.
The Double Dragon.
They slayed the Golden Knights in round 1.
Yeah.
That was our dragon to slay. They slayed the Avalanche in round 2. That was our dragon to slay. So they are the Double Dragon.
Oh, they're slaying our dragons.
They are the dragons that have slayed the dragons we wanted to slay. So this is a super double dragon that we are now going to slay. So we pull this off.
Essentially,
this is a defining moment. This is a brand establishing moment. Connor McDavid putting his stamp on the game of hockey. Took down the Double Dragon, the Super Double Dragon.
I had an idea that might reflect on that, but I think I'm going to think about it for a little bit before I say it.
Ponder away.
I will.
All right, you do that.
So this is what gets me amped up.
Yeah.
I think we have a chance in this series. I firmly do. I think we're probably going to get out of Dallas only with a split.
Okay.
Which is good.
Which is,
fantastic,
by design,
actually.
fantastic. Yeah. I think game 1, we give it to them.
Mm-hmm.
We still have like the fresh kind of hockey legs.
Yeah.
The mental hockey speed because we played the more recent. I think, we're going to get shot out of a cannon here. I think Dallas isn't going to be ready for this version of the Oilers. That's my vibe. That's your vibe, Tyler.
My vibe
aside from being exhausted from flying a red eye, that is also my vibe.
Yeah, I'm absolutely drained right now. This is going to be a 1-hour edition of.
That's why I went for a big coffee. I wanted to come and try to be amped up so I can lift you up. I knew.
You knew I needed a spark. Yeah, that's fair. What are my vibes? Again, I think throughout these playoffs, we've seen enough examples of the more rested team coming out flat in game 1.
Mm-hmm.
You even look at like Dallas was the least rested team in their series against Colorado. They came out red hot. They were up 3-0 in that game 1 against Colorado. Ultimately, they blew it, so maybe not the best example, but the point is they came out guns a-blazing. You had Boston go out and beat Florida in that round 1. Florida was sitting on their hands for 5-6 days. Boston just coming off an emotional Game 7 win over Toronto, comes out, lays it to them in game 1. So I'm sitting here tonight thinking the Oilers will have maybe a little bit more positive momentum here coming into this hockey game. So I'm actually very confident. My prediction's a win tonight and a loss on Saturday, but I'm also very aware that if they win tonight, I'm going to be feeling great going into Saturday as well. So it's a good chance to take some pressure off you too. If you lose tonight, then you go into game 2 and all of a sudden you're like, hey, you really kind of got to win this one. Otherwise, you're running out of lives a little bit. You win tonight, you put so much pressure on the Dallas Stars, and I think it's an opportunity you don't want to see them miss.
I feel like the only way you do split is if you win tonight. But having said that, you win tonight, and this is going to sound so obvious, you have a legit chance of getting 2. You might be able to get lucky and just squeeze out from some kind of crazy defensive performance or Skinner steps up or something like that where you could eke out the second.
Which they've done 4 times in this playoffs now, that defensive game. I think one other thing.
Game 6 and 7 was...
Yeah.
Obviously, there was something going on with the team. There was something going on with the team in games like 2 or I guess 1 through 5.
Yeah.
Because holy shit, that was a completely different team in 6 and 7.
It felt like they underestimated what Vancouver could do in many ways.
Yeah, a little bit. Like Vancouver hangs around, and we always kind of gave them a chance to think they had a chance.
Mm-hmm.
But we also weren't shutting it down like that.
No, we definitely
Like that was a team that bought in. Like that was a team that obviously was feeling better. Like we are not losing this series. We are putting it all on the line. And so for me, that was so refreshing to see, especially going into playing the Super Double Dragon. You can clog up the middle like that. You got Leon blocking shots, Connor blocking shots. Just that team commitment to give their best to win. Just like they're showing it.
Mm-hmm.
And they have Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl, and Evan Bouchard, and Nuge, and Hyman on the offensive side. Like
And Ekholm now.
And Ekholm, it's like, ugh.
One layer
It's there.
that is not being talked about for
A Dragon's Lair?
A Dragon Slayer, yes. We did pass that medieval place.
Medieval times,
Quite
yeah.
Interesting. Jake Ottinger left practice yesterday with an illness. Like he's going to play tonight, but maybe you can kind of catch him off guard a little bit.
Well, so actually, Aaron and Pat threw together some interesting stuff on our friend Jake Ottinger tonight.
Friend?
Yeah, well, I don't know. Maybe he'll be a friend
Enemy?
tonight. Well, wait till you see these numbers. His home and road splits are fascinating. Take a look. AB, flash them up. This is him so far in these playoffs. On home ice, a 2.96 and 8.79. On the road, a 1.18 and a 9.56. And that's even including the fact he faces almost 7 fewer shots per game when he's at home. His record is 3-4 at home. On the road, it is 5-1. He's been bad, or not bad. He's been below average.
Yeah.
Below average. Bad would be, well,
I guess we have to say that's good because those are very similar to Skinner's
exactly. On the road, very damn good. At home, Jake Ottinger has struggled. So again, you're getting a Jake Ottinger who hasn't played in a handful of games. Maybe there's some rust early. Jake Ottinger hasn't been good on home ice so far this season. And listen, Colorado's good, but they lost their leading goal scorer, I should say, halfway through that series. Their offense is not as good as Edmonton's. You could even look at Winnipeg, like decent, but nowhere near Edmonton's. What Dallas could go out and do against Colorado was stack up their best defensive players against the McKinnon-Rantanen line, and the rest of it they were good with. They never had to deal with the 1-2 punch of McDavid and Draisaitl. So that Ottinger, not good on home ice. Those are two key factors tonight.
Yeah. I was just thinking because there was that thing, wasn't it? Was it Colorado who was supposed to be the good road team, or was it Dallas? That's a really good road team.
Well, Dallas
in the regular season, it must have been Dallas was like the number one road team.
Oh no, because McKinnon had like 900 game point streak.
That was right. Colorado was the number one home team, and Dallas was the number one road team.
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah,
and actually that lines up. AB, give me Ottinger's regular season splits at home and on the road. I'm already losing my voice today. But this is a trend that continues back through the regular season. 905 at home, 918 on the road, 272 to a 209. So his home and road splits again, just really, really different. And he's struggled at home ice or on home ice so far this season, playoffs, regular season. So that's one opportunity. Again, it just goes to kind of line up again that this is a chance for the Oilers to come out and stun them a little bit early on here in this series.
What's up, Nation citizens? If you like that video, then you need to be subscribed to the Oilers Nation YouTube. Podcasts, live shows, exclusive interviews, and analysis. Everything you need from your favorite voices at Oilers Nation. And you don't want to miss any of it, so hammer that subscribe button.